Hello and welcome to 15 Minutes or Less with me, Mabs, and Amy White.
Hi.
I'm sorry, could you do that again?
Hi. What? Is that what you mean?
It's not very enthusiastic.
Oh. Konnichiwa!
Yeah! Much better. And Paris too, go.
Hello.
No, I just...
Oh my god. Should I do Korean? Because she did Japanese.
Yeah, go on.
안녕하세요.
That works quite well because we're on to the letter K this week, so that will work very well. Blake, just say hello.
Buongiorno.
That was the best one.
Yeah, you see.
Very, very good.
You see.
Very good. Well, yeah, so you're watching 15 Minutes or Less, or possibly listening to us. I don't know where you are or what you're doing. But thank you very much for picking us out. And this week we are on to the letter K, and we are on to karma. So I'm going to start the clock now. So 15 minutes now of talking about karma. Has anyone got anything that they'd like to say about karma to start with? No.
Well, I didn't really believe in it before this podcast, but just before the podcast, I started reading about it, and I watched a video that slightly changed my mind about karma.
See, the way I thought that was going to go was before I was on the podcast, I didn't believe in karma, but now I believe because I'm a good person. I got to be on this podcast, which has made me believe in karma. That's what I was hoping you'd say. That's what I was expecting you to say, and you didn't. That's fine.
I don't know.
I'm not offended.
I didn't believe in karma, and now I did because I got to be on this podcast. How's that?
That's very good.
Yay!
There are lots of favorites towards Amy.
That's because I've got my positivity.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I don't actually, I mean, I'm not...
Don't roll your eyes at me.
Yeah, because karma will come back and bite you in the bottom. That's one of the things about
Is
karma.
that how it works?
Well, I don't know, not really. I mean, so I'm not hugely clued up on karma beyond that basic thing.
That's not good.
No, not really. I mean, it like originally comes from a sort of a religious aspect, like, you know, Buddhism and Hinduism. But it's essentially, if you're a good person that does good things, then good things will come back to you in the future. And if you're a bad person that does bad things, well, you know, you're going to get what's coming. Whitey. You're going to get what's coming to you.
What a nice eye roll back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the cycle of cause and effect. So do Paris kind of implied that your mind has been changed. You believe
Yes.
it is true. It happens.
Yeah, because before I started reading about it, I thought the belief is that someone like counting what people are doing. And when you look at the world, people who do bad things, they don't necessarily get the effect. So how's that karma works for those people? So I thought, like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That the universe is like looking up at people, like what they're doing and trying to give them the result, the effect. But the video I was watching, it explained it differently.
Okay.
That even when you're doing the bad things, you're getting the results mentally, like you're becoming a bad person, and that's the karma. And if you look at it that way, it makes sense, like cause and effect in that way.
Yeah, it does make more sense that way, because I think the thing that always comes up when I think about this sort of subject is even if it's removed from the karma aspect, but looking at it from that aspect, because that's what we're talking about today, is that well, why do bad things happen to good people, and why do good things happen to bad people?
But then it's the same as well for the other, like, good things do happen to some good people.
Yeah.
It's just, you're just putting it in a box is all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there isn't really, it's just everyone's
Even
different.
like if you're doing good things and nothing comes out of it, just by becoming a better person, that's a karma.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's almost like, in many ways, a life lesson, a life skill, I would say. It's like if you go around living your life doing good things, in theory, you'll get something back from doing that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. Like, and that's not looking at it from a completely selfish aspect necessarily, but it's just like, you wouldn't do it if, like, you know, like, oh, I never do. I might make you guys tea every day. And that might make me feel good because I make you tea every day. And the satisfaction I get out of it is that, you know, oh, I've made you all happy. I've made you all
The joy in
tea.
it, the joy in doing it.
Exactly, the joy in the simple things,
Yeah.
Amy White.
I think that's very important in life.
Yeah,
Enjoying the simple things.
yeah.
Has anyone ever read The Secret before or heard of The Secret?
Absolutely not. I mean, enlighten
I
me.
watched the documentary.
What did
I've
you-
read it. I don't. I mean, I agree with the positive thought process. Like, I think
Yeah.
it's nice to think positive things, but to wish for things and believe that they're happening, I think, is setting people up for disappointment. I don't think it's necessarily a good thing.
I don't know what The Secret is. You're going to need to give me some context.
Basically, it's a whole book about how if you envision your life and like you have positive thoughts towards things, then
Mhm.
positive things will come back to you. So it's very much tied in with karma. I personally believe that positivity brings more positivity. I don't think, like you say, when you read the book, that you can really believe in that word for word, because it says things like, oh, there was this guy and he hoped for loads of money, and then money just started arriving at his door and, you know, like being posted through his letterbox and things like that. But there's some things in there that you can really learn from that book. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I think some aspect of it is true, because even if you want to do something,
Yeah.
it starts with belief.
Yeah.
If you cannot even believe that good things can happen to you, you cannot go anywhere. But you have to do something about it, I think.
Yeah.
Afterward, you cannot just sit.
Excuse me. That was my karma, because earlier today I sneezed and I didn't say excuse me, so now I've sneezed in an episode of the podcast.
Bless you.
No, we were just literally saying that we were hoping you weren't going to ever sneeze because it's so loud when you sneeze.
How
You
many-
put that bad karma on James.
I didn't say anything about sneezing. You guys said it, so you did it, not me.
Your decibel level that you reached with your sneeze this weekend was how much?
Oh, I don't even know how you measure decibels, but it was loud, very loud.
It was on the
Birds
loud.
flew from the trees.
They did.
Wow.
Not that bad.
So does that mean then, because of your sneeze making birds terrified and fly out of a tree, at some point birds are gonna like?
Well, my budgie bites me, so that's the karma that they've got back.
Yeah.
Like, it's already done a full circle.
Do any of you think you've experienced it, like good karma, bad karma? Do you think there's been an experience that you've had in your life where you feel as though you could attribute it to that cycle or that idea?
Yeah, it's very common. Like when you do good things, like, or you get, it's like physics, cause and effect.
Yeah.
Like if you do good things, people will like you and be nice to you.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
common sense.
like you said, it's just general life. I wouldn't say that it's karma, like a thing or a way of life that's making that happen. It's obviously, if you're nice to someone, they're going to like you back. You know, if you
The
do
dark
good things,
side of it is
news to
sometimes
spread.
people, like when something bad happens to someone, they would say things like it's karma of what they're done, and I don't like that. That's such a horrible way of
People
looking.
wish bad karma on a lot of other people, don't they? So like that's a saying that a lot of people say, karma will get you.
Yeah. Maybe we're all too selfish and we're all gonna get got by karma.
No, I just want good karma, good vibes.
Yeah.
So it's all like a cycle of energy, isn't it? Really, it's that kind of like, if you live a positive life and you do positive things, then you should feel better about yourself. And even if perhaps it doesn't feel like you're getting anything out of it now, at some stage, it could be years from now, something will happen, and you'll feel, or hopefully feel, like it's the kind of that coming back and repaying you. It's kind of like putting money in a savings account with a little interest rate. No, a little
No.
bit.
It's,
So
it's also it's also about focus, because if you focus on good things, you notice them more.
Yeah.
I mean, you obviously, bad things happen to you as well, but it's about shifting your focus to good things.
Do you think maybe that's what it is in like terms, because you've seen the documentary for The
I
Secret,
think
right?
I think the big part of it is that like
You're aware of
you're aware of
yeah.
good things that happen to you, but
Yeah.
you're ignoring.
Because I have a situation, right? So with me and like the things that when I read this book, you said think them through in your mind and then they'll happen, right? So for example, it starts with something like a parking space. Think about where you want to park for the day. And then I did that for like a full week. And in the full week, I parked in the same bit every single week because that space was always free. Like, how do you explain that? That was really strange.
When I was watching the documentary, that bit I thought it's too insane.
Yeah, but it happened to me for a whole week. Every day I
that's
thought about
amazing.
it. And it was like the same bit. There's this bit in your...
Well, all the books that are about success, they have a chapter about visualization.
Yeah.
Like you have to sit and imagine yourself because your brain cannot tell between reality and imagination. So if you like imagine yourself in those scenarios, like your brain, I think that's how they explain it. Your brain come up with a plan.
But the thing that I struggle with that aspect of it is that you can't mess with free will. This is a Bruce Almighty quote right now. But you can't mess with free will. So you can visualize stuff as much as you want. And there is a certain element of like your own actions and behavior. Well, certainly your own actions and behavior and other people's that you can influence and affect and impact on.
Yeah.
And that can certainly, and visualization is definitely very powerful, especially if you're like, I want to get here or I want this to happen. But
It depends on the people in those
I
scenarios
think
to make it happen.
it's one step of like multiple steps to success. You cannot just visualize and not do anything.
yeah, absolutely. And going back to Amy Blaker's point, was it the school holidays when you parked your car that week?
No, and it's really hard to explain as well because the way that you park your car, there has to be a certain space free. And I left it, I was pushing it to the last minute and I knew I had to get that.
Living in a danger zone.
Yeah, I had to get that space to be on time for work. And and like it was just, you'd have to see the space where I parked to understand the coincidence of that being free. It's really unusual.
So how does that link to karma?
Because, well, I don't know, like if you visualize something, like what it says in the book,
You put
visualize
it into universe and
Yeah,
universe
exactly.
save that parking
Yeah.
space for you.
Yeah, exactly. You
You-
think where you're going to go, you visualize where I'm going to pull up, where I'm going to park, and then the space is just there.
So thinking about something puts that energy out into the universe and
And
that's
it
that it may
happens.
happen.
I think that's
Yeah.
a very extreme example.
It
but
is extreme,
yeah.
but yeah, like it's happened to me on numerous things.
So if I sit here and think about something hard enough and visualize
Don't think this sarcastically.
it might happen.
What are you
Yeah.
thinking about?
Jurassic Park being
Well, you
No, be realistic here. Start small.
You said visualize. And,
We all-
and we can start
I mean,
small.
tomorrow we're all going to come to work at like
I'm going to dress up as a
Dinosaurs
dinosaur.
once.
Yeah,
reenact it.
your dreams can come true.
Yes, they can.
When
Jurassic
it-
Park can happen to you. Okay. Well, that's quite interesting, I suppose. I don't know. I mean,
You obviously not believe in it.
no, I don't not believe it. I do believe it.
Yeah.
I think the construction of how it's put together, especially coming from a faith aspect, I think it's a way of explaining and dissecting and understanding something that happens every day that we don't understand.
Yeah, but think about the physics, like law of cause and effect. It makes sense that something similar applies to metaphysics. I think so. I think like when you punch the table very hard, your fist gonna get hurt, and there must be something that's similar but like supernatural.
Well, I just kind of think like I was watching an episode of Queer Eye last night on Netflix, really good, watch it. And there was something they were talking about, like confidence, you know, and if you're confident and you're happy, like it kind of like radiates out of you. People can tell.
That's a vibe you're giving.
Yeah, and I think in some ways there's aspects of this that are quite like that. You know, if you're a good person with a good attitude, good things are more likely to happen. They won't necessarily happen, but then if they don't, well, you're kind of a good person with a good attitude, so you're probably going to take it better or handle it better. It's about how you cope with that challenge. Whereas, like, you know, if you go around and you just think everyone's a bastard, that's right, I've sworn on the podcast. This is now an explicit podcast.
Beep that bit out.
Like that, then bad things are going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Well, no, maybe those, and it might not happen straight away. But and also to go back to that point I raised before about, well, why do good things happen to bad people? Someone could be a really bad person, and you know, and it'd be like, but why are they getting through life and good things happen? But maybe no one loves them.
The thing is, we have to examine these things throughout the time, because sometimes in a moment you think this is a bad thing, but maybe 10 years later you realize, oh, it wasn't a bad thing. I had experience like that a lot in my life. Good.
But we're going to have to leave those experiences, Parastu, for another
And
episode.
behind. Okay.
Cool. Well, that was Karma. That was the letter K. And we've done 15 minutes. I can't believe that happened, actually. I thought that was going to be the first episode we didn't do 15 minutes for. But we did it. So well done. Good karma. Good karma. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for listening and watching. And we'll be back again next week with another episode talking about another subject from another letter. And in the meantime, thanks very much and goodbye.
Bye.